afternoon, whenever and wherever you are watching or listening. Of course, you're on Spotify, Apple Music, all those, and YouTube. Today we have another guest in front of me. I must say season 3 is turning out to be quite a guest-heavy season, which is good. First few seasons were just getting up and running, but now we actually have some very interesting people on. So I'm very excited. In front of me, we have Niyaaz from Liberebil, right?
Hello.
Yes. So he'll introduce himself now. He's also, I'd say he's quite comfortable in front of a camera. He has a YouTube channel. He is a businessman. From the 3.5 minutes I've known him in person, he's quite a humble guy, which is also very cool, but a car guy nonetheless, out and out, which is very cool. So we're going to have a good conversation just about his career, what he's doing, why he likes cars, some interesting stories. And, it's one of those episodes where I won't be speaking much, basically just asking the questions.
I don't talk a lot either.
Well, that's a problem. In any way. So Niyaaz will introduce himself and then just, tell a bit about your story, how you got started, where the passion for cars come from.
Sure, that's a long conversation.
No, well, I have time.
So when I was young, I was bullied quite a bit in school. And that brought a lot of problems up. But one day, I was a Muslim school. I was walking to mosque, and a Nissan 350Z bolted past school. And I heard it, and I was like, oh my word. I think I might have found something that's saving me. And my dad was into cars.
Yeah.
So I was also quite into cars, but that was the turning point for me. It's kind of what kept me moving forward because it wanted me to accomplish so much more.
Yeah.
And then about 6 years ago, I don't know how old Liberebil is now, I started a fitness channel because I was into fitness and stuff like that. And I wanted to get myself to a point where I had to show people what you can do if you just put your mind to something. And that then moved to cars because I was a friend on the channel. And he was very into fitness, and he kind of showed me the ropes and stuff like that, fitness, and helped me on my journey and whatnot. And then we did skits, various different stuff to see what's gonna work. Nothing really bit, and I wasn't enjoying myself. And then the cars thing took off. So when the cars thing took off, it was we did a Kilani video. It was those end of year events.
Yeah.
But really big end of year events. And that was the start of Liberebil basically.
That was the first video.
Yeah,
the
the car
cars.
video.
Yeah.
And then that got 6,000 views, which was a lot.
Yeah,
South African
that
car
is a
YouTube
lot for the
channel.
first time.
And then we just kept doing it. Robot racing videos, car videos. Didn't do any features and stuff yet because we were 2 people. How do you do film a feature?
Yeah.
It wasn't even on my mind. I thought the channel was just going to be Kilani and stuff. And we obviously had to diversify stuff in vlog and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then that led to him leaving to do his own endeavors, and that left me alone with the channel. And that breakup was actually quite easy because we both had 2 different type of mindsets of where the channel should be and where it's going, and it didn't see eye to eye. And then look, we're still good friends. We still talk a lot. And then we just broke apart, and he's doing his own thing now, and I'm doing Liberebil. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's been 5-6 years now in the running. Does it feel any different than the day you started? What do you think is the big changes?
What's very different is what the channels become. And that scares me because I always thought Liberebil was a YouTube channel that's going to film Hondas and Nissans and Toyotas for the rest of its life. And I didn't know how to evolve from that point because you can't film the same car over and over and over and over again. You're only going to get one type of audience. I wanted to diversify my channel to a point where I can get old people watching, supercar people watching, SUV people watching, bakkie people watching.
Yes.
I was like, how do I get my channel to this point, and what do I have to give up to get to that point? Luckily, I had to give up nothing.
Yeah.
The only thing I had to give up was filming because of COVID. And then COVID kind of put a pin in all the normal type of cars I'm filming because now a lot of the cars I'm getting is fleet cars.
Yeah.
Which is safe because they're sanitized and stuff like that. And I recently lost a family member to COVID, which wasn't very easy. And it just made me be more strict on where I go, what I do, and what cars I film and stuff like that. So, yeah. Tomorrow I'm actually filming I don't know, the day we're filming this podcast. Tomorrow I'm filming a Skyline 2.8 GTX. The old R30. Is that R30, I think?
Like R30, that's basically the start of it.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
So that's what I want to do. Yeah, that's a car that I'm looking very forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought when you said about, or told me about the 350Z, I thought, okay, are we going JDM then? But I mean, looking at your videos now, it is quite diversified.
Yeah.
And there's quite a big range.
Yeah, and the best part about it is that I'm not cornered into one type of genre.
Yeah.
One type of car. I kinda like anything from Alphas to Peugeots. I see the passion in every car, and I see each group's passion.
Yes.
I'm drawn more to Mercedes and BMW. I was a huge Nissan guy.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger, it was Nissan or nothing.
Which is understandable.
Yeah, because I grew up in a family of Datsuns. My dad was a Datsun, used to tune Datsuns, and my uncles tuned Alphas. So, and Datsuns as well. So, and then Nissans, from Skylines to Sentras to Sabres.
Yeah.
My dad had a Sabre, I had a Sabre, my brother had a Sentra, my cousins still have Sentras.
Runs in the family.
Yeah, but I told myself I can't just like one car.
Yeah.
That's not what life is about. I want to try different cars. Then from the Sentra, I moved to BMs, Renaults, Audis.
The world opened.
Fiat. My brother had Fiats. To Chevs, man, now. Like we wanted to try different cars for at least a few months so that when we speak of something, we can speak of a car like we owned it. I don't like people who talk about cars and they've never owned it. For me, it's try different things, experience it, and then give your opinion about it.
Yeah.
But if you give your opinion on a car you've never owned and a car you have no interest in, I don't think your opinion is really that valid. Yes, you have an opinion, but it's a preference opinion.
Yeah.
It's not I've tried it, now what's my preference?
Yeah.
You know?
And even if you just have a car for a week, it's quite difficult to really form the opinion of someone living with it.
No,
like,
100%.
For you, it's only like, okay, see this, touch this, feel this, it rides this way, which is cool. And normally it's accurate. I mean, the more cars you try, the more accurate your opinion is going to be, even though you just have the car for a week, because there's certain things you just pick up easier. But I mean, it's nothing like living with something.
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
Of course.
But tell me a bit about the shop you have and what kind of things you do there, because that's quite an intriguing part of the channel. Also for me is the fact that you're tuning cars, working on cars. It's not just here's the brand new this and whatever.
So what's interesting there, so my friend or my business partner, Gino, he owns LA Customs. And I came to his home one day and he wanted me to do a feature on his Porsche. And I featured the Porsche on my channel. And when I brought on the day I brought the Porsche back to him, my grandmother passed away.
Yeah.
So it was a hectic day.
Yeah.
And I told myself something is happening in my life now. Something is changing. And then I spoke to Gino, asked me if he can see me again. And then I came to his place and then he pitched me this idea. He had this vision of a custom shop of someone doing content creation. And someone following this journey with him and I on these different difficulties and calamities we're going to go on. And I thought to myself, oh my God, this is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
I never wanted to partner with someone or a company that has control over what I do.
Yeah.
I still want to see vision, the feature videos, the Kilani videos and stuff like that. But I want to add something to it that will allow me to make these things easier. Because in YouTube, you don't really earn anything.
Yeah.
And now with LA Customs, I get to film content and earn money because I'm filming content for a company.
It's your job, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not, you know what's so weird? It's not even a job. It's like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Like Gino is probably the coolest guy that I've ever met because he's given me opportunity. And our dynamic works so well because he's so different to me. And yet we also so the same. We agree on so much and we disagree on so little. So that's so weird. But the way we reflect it is very different.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That is a cool dynamic though. It's actually needed that you do disagree on certain things, because otherwise nothing improves. Like, I think you just stick with whatever you think, but when someone actually comes along and says, yes, I agree, but let's refine on this, let's change a bit, that's also quite cool. And I think having someone that, even though they don't create the content you do, they can still add feedback and be like, okay, this is cool, but let's focus on this, or want to try this one, And also about a custom shop is, I'm just thinking of a similar situation with, I don't know if you know of Solomondran in... Yeah. So he... 2-3 years ago, about a lot of his videos was with Galpin Autosport, which is also similar kind of situation. They did the most insane things, and it was awesome to follow their journey. And now with you, it's like even more in depth. Like, I want to say, like, from the initiation of the idea, the business, you start following it as it's growing. We see what content is coming out. We see the new cars coming in, which is awesome.
And I mean, Gino and I don't only have a vision for doing, like, we can't film every customer's car that comes in the shop. But what we want to do is turn it into a channel where we do breakfast runs, where we do park-offs at the shop, where we do gymkhanas, where we have our own Saldana events, where we get to have fun and film everything. For example, Niyaaz, you're buying a new car. Let's film this. Let's ask the audience, what wheels do you think you should choose? What this you should choose? What body kit should we pick on the car? That's the kind of things that we want to see, or what we want to do at LA Customs. Go get McDonald's, come back to the shop again. A catastrophe happened, film that catastrophe. It's all about that journey. It's all about bringing the audience along with that ride.
And it's a real life kind of thing. Like, this happened, looks stupid or it's a bit obscure, but let's film it because, listen, this is what real life is. Like, these kind of things do happen. So another question I'm wondering about now, maybe this is a bit off course, but in terms of YouTube, last week I spoke to a guy, he's an automotive photographer, and we spoke a lot about YouTubers these days, and as you mentioned earlier off camera, like the crazy cars or things they have to buy to stay relevant.
To feed the machine.
Yes, to feed the machine. And to keep the audience happy, because, I mean, it's a constant rat race to chase views. But anyway, and we spoke about the crazy cars people have, and I said, like, I never really want to become a YouTuber that, I have a massive passion for cars that leads me to start YouTube, and then it becomes like very, very businessy. And then it's all about, the cars you buy as an asset, and it's made to grow the channel, And it's not necessarily cars that you want to buy, but you need to buy it because that gets the views. And you don't want to really modify it, but you do because that's what gets the views. So how's the experience for you? Because you are in that world. But I mean, do you feel that your passion gets lost because you do YouTube? Do you feel that you almost have an obligation to do certain kind of things or certain kind of content, to buy certain type of cars that, even though you don't really want to, it's good for the business? Like, I don't know if you understand, but how's that?
For me, it's a matter of... So I thought that's what YouTube was about. I chose not to go down that road. I bought my CLK because I've always wanted a 63, and I didn't buy it, sell it anytime soon. I'm literally gonna drive the car till the wheels fall off. Unless I run into a financial problem that I have to sell the car, it'll be the only reason why I sell it. What I think has kept me going is the fact that I'm doing this for me, not for other people. The only benefit, or the only thing that happened with Liberebil, is people started following me and following my journey, and then obviously giving me suggestions to do things. I listen to those suggestions. I don't necessarily take them, because that would mean I'd have to buy every single car on the planet in order to keep everyone happy. And it's not me. I'm here to, first of all, make me happy, and to inspire other people that you can get on YouTube. Be happy with 50 or 60,000 subscribers. You don't need 1 million subscribers to make a success. This is South Africa. We're a very small community, and my channel is growing quite strongly. And I love that people aren't putting things on my head to do. Like, if I had to do something to make people happy, it would be to buy a Nissan VVL. That would make people go crazy. But it's not what I want to do. It's not what's going to make me happy. It's not what's going to bring me. I've owned a Sabre already. I've had, like in 2010, I had Sabre. My uncles had VVLs in 2010. Before this whole thing kicked off, my brother had a 8,000 RPM SR20. I had changed engines on my cars. So I've been there. I've done that. And to do it again for me isn't going to develop me.
Yeah.
I've never owned a Honda yet. So I still want to own a Honda. I want to do a K-swap. That's one thing I really want to do. One of my dreams is to do throttles, cam, and a track setup, a resto mod.
Yeah.
So I want to go to have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. I want to fit it with the heated seats from a Type R. I don't care if it's to make the car heavier.
Yeah.
I just want a resto mod.
Comforts,
Yeah. I want a resto mod that I can daily. So that would definitely be the Honda.
Yeah.
But as of now, I'm not in that financial position to go out there and build a 200,000 rand car.
Oh, no.
You know, I can rather put 200,000 rand into a modern car, put another 30,000 rand into it, and then have a car that can make 10, 15 videos and keep it for 2 or 3 years.
That's fine.
So that for me is a lot. There is a lot more development in that for me. And if people want me to buy a particular car, and they're not happy when they see I buy it, then I'm sorry.
So be it.
You know, I can't
Yeah.
please everyone.
I think that's the important part of it. The fact that, yes, you're doing it for your own, but like it's still your passion. You're still going to do what you want to do. People are following along, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's almost want to say it's not necessarily them you are serving first and foremost. It's like, I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
Yeah.
If you want to come along, great. That's,
Yeah.
you know, I love it, love people. So that's very cool.
You know what? There's this amazing YouTube channel called Late Late Customs in Stellenbosch.
Late custom.
Yeah. And this kid is building Mark 1s, caddies, and things like that. Him and I had a conversation about 2 years ago. And I told him, pick your audience and flourish. And he did. He took my advice and he ran with it.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy for him because he's building a channel sticking with what he loves.
Yeah.
And he's not buying a C63 or M3 or GTR or something to keep himself happy or his owners happy.
Yeah.
He's found a space where he's happy and he's growing in it.
That's awesome.
You know what? I mean, he's nurturing that space.
Yeah.
I'm doing exactly the same way. I found my space and I want to develop that space. I want to see what I can do if I'm allowed to stretch my legs and I'm allowed to be in a space where I have no limitations.
Yeah.
So,
What's your favorite type of content to shoot? Because yes, you do test drives and I mean reviews and so on, and you also work with the shop. But what's your favorite type of content? Favorite type of car to shoot with?
My favorite type of content to shoot was when I started with Gino and Chad. We shot we just vlog. So we'd go race Chad's GT.
Yeah.
We'd race his TT. We'd straight pipe the Porsche. You know, stuff like that. We'd race, just do random stuff,
Yeah.
which is, how do I say, it wasn't random, it was curated, but also in a way that allowed development. So now Porsche sees a video and goes, oh wow, you know, let's do something. People who drive Porsche like, oh, this guy's not only into Hondas and Toyotas and
Yeah.
BMWs and Nissans and Mercedes. I want to follow him now as well. So that's how we kind of grab the different market as well. And it's just so much fun because I can just hit record and be me.
Yeah, of course.
You know, when I shoot a S6 or a Q8 or a R8 or something, I have to be more professional. Obviously, because you're speaking to a different audience and stuff like that. And it's lovely, but it's just feels more like work.
And I mean, one of the coolest things of driving new cars also seems like being invited to the press drives or, you know, flying to Joburg, doing a drive there. How's the community you're working with when it comes to these kind of, you know, the new car test, the journalists, the whoever is in that space also? How's the community in South Africa for you? How are you experiencing the people?
So the people is very nice. Manufacturers are cool to work with. What's difficult is actually getting cars. I struggled for 2 years getting fleet cars because I wanted to develop the channel and develop the space. It's still till today very difficult communicating backwards and forwards, but I've grown now to a point where it's a lot better. Manufacturers actually want to work with me now. Before it was very difficult. I'm actually doing Toyota GRMN, the Yaris, on Wednesday. I won't be going. Yeah, I won't be going. Alex is going. So that's another part of the team what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to break away from the new car segment and stick to Alex Customs and modified cars.
So then get someone to do that.
Yeah, which is going to be cool. Alex. So for me, the new car space I'm struggling with it because they feel so similar. I can't tell the difference between...
It's very saturated.
You know what I mean? And I can't tell the difference between an A6 and an E-Class. Like, they both feel exactly the same. And here I'm sitting going, what do I say about this car?
You have to say stuff that's meaningful.
You know, you drive a Yaris, Polo, 208 Peugeot, a small Citroen, a Micra. Like, they all feel so similar. It's just a matter of what your preference is and what value you expect from a car.
Yeah.
Then you have the Koreans coming in like crazy, also making
good cars these days.
Cars and not very cookie cutter cars.
Yes.
You know, I thought they'd be making just copy and paste, but they're actually trying to develop their own stuff.
Yeah.
And that for me is pretty awesome. But again, I'm struggling to feel the difference between cars.
Yeah.
GTI, S3, Focus ST, they all feel the same.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, back in the day, you had a V10 M5, a V8 supercharged E63 rear-wheel drive, both an Audi RS6, which was V10 twin-turbo all-wheel drive.
Yes.
Now you have a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 Mercedes, four-wheel drive.
In every single car.
You have a 4.4 twin-turbo V8 in an M5. You have a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 in an Audi RS6, four-wheel drive. They all four-wheel drive with the O2 as switchable rear-wheel drive. And I'm
Over
like,
600 horsepower, all of them.
yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't tell anymore.
Yeah.
You know, they're all the same cars now. They're not trying to stay apart and be unique, you know.
Yeah.
I wish BMW developed rear-wheel drive cars and didn't chase the 0 to 100 game. It gave us cars that kept that feel. Which is why I like G80 so much. It didn't chase the RS4 vibe. It still feel like a BMW, which is a surprise in 2020. To be honest with you.
No, I think I totally agree. There's a lot of cookie cutter, but it's going back to the business side of things. It makes sense. Take the what do you call it? The Supra and the Z4. I mean, same kind of business relationship. You know, it's both very good cars, you know, objectively, but it's not the characterful cars necessarily.
You say so. I'm so confused why Supra isn't based on LC500.
That's also valid.
Or like, they have the platform. If Supra was based on LC500, twin-turbo V6, I'd have been, because they have a twin-turbo V6 in the LS 600, which is making good power, like a development on that engine on a longer, wider platform would have looked and sounded the part.
Yeah, but for some reason they took the BMW route. But I mean, there are definitely perks in terms of the technology you have inside of the car.
Without a doubt.
I think the gearbox is very, very good. I'm saying that not even driven it, like only going off what people say of it. But I mean, look at the Volkswagen group also. So saturated with all the same cars. I mean, you're driving a SQ8 at the moment, which is an unbelievable car. And but it shares the platform with like the Cayenne and the Q7 and etc. etc.
Yeah, Urus.
Yes, yeah. So it's Audi, Bentley, Porsche, Volkswagen. So what? Or Touareg is also in the space. So it's all about. I mean, last week we spoke about also like electric cars, small electric cars, all being basically precisely the same car with different looks and feels in the interior and outside. So what is there to distinguish between them, or like what makes them distinct? Not much.
It is. It's so true. And I mean, for me, that's what's giving me creators block in the new car segment currently on my channel, is that I don't know where to take it from here. I've driven some amazing metal. I've driven absolutely amazing cars. And now that electric cars are coming, I'm okay to step out of it now. and do modified cars and continue driving older cars like from between 2010 and 2020.
That's going to continue to be exciting.
Exactly. Alex is doing a great job. He gets the space. He's of that generation that loves new cars, that loves snap. He's of the snap, crackle, pop kind of guy, and I'm not. I'm very like my 63 now, 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 without any snap and crackles or the auto converter box.
Raw.
Yeah, like that's kind of me. F10 M5 I love. F80 M3.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be driving the new C63.
Really?
I've made my case. Alex will drive it. He can even take the car for the week. I'm not interested.
This is now the one coming out?
4-cylinder one.
Yes.
I don't care how quick it's going to be the quarter mile in auto 100. It's pointless. A 4-cylinder performance car, specifically a saloon, a German saloon, is just, no, it's a no for me.
Yeah. No, I see where you're going with this because, I mean, out of a YouTube standpoint, yes, it's a new 63, but it's really not as exciting as shooting a 2007 C63. I really, really love watching content of, I want to say, like modern classics. I mean, that's a
100%.
Going out there because born in 2000, which is quite young, but anything around the 2010s ish, those cars are what excite me because that was my first experience with cool cars. My dad, he worked at Mercedes, and I remember bringing home a C55, and we went out for a drive in that. I mean,
interesting,
wild. It's probably objectively not the best car out there, even in that generation. Probably the M3 was better then, but
it feels real. It feels so real.
That's where the passion started. It's about the feel and the sound and like tingling emotion.
Yeah. I got out of a RS5 a few weeks ago, which I put a video up on the channel.
I saw.
That was one of two cars that made me sit back and go, my God, I think I might have found a car that made me feel special.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that car was sensational.
That was not the 2-door, it was the 4-door.
It was a 4-door, yeah.
Yes.
Not very pretty, but so good to drive. I'm looking forward to RS4.
And so quick.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to RS4 because it's a better body, same engine, same exhaust. I'm curious to see what.
There's a white RS4. There's a white RS4 estate in Stellenbosch somewhere, and I remember seeing that car from behind. Unbelievably beefy.
Box flares.
But if you don't know cars, you won't see it. You won't know that's something special because it was very simple, white, silver wheels, like typical, A4 spec.
Yeah.
And I saw that, and I knew what it was, and I got excited. Everyone's just like, "What are you saying? This is an Audi." Like
such a special car.
So I must say, I'm quite into cars like that. The sort of sleeper-ish vibe. You don't really know what's coming, but damn, it can deliver.
My business partner Gino is so into wagons. So he's like, as soon as the shop goes somewhere, he's definitely looking to a RS4 and RS6.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so what I'm also very intrigued to hear is your history with cars, like specifically cars you've owned. Maybe take us through that, where it started, where it's now, what the dreams are.
Yeah. Okay, so I started off with a Honda pop-up lights, a cream one. My oppa borrowed my father and I money. We paid 1,000 rand for it.
Yes.
Had holes in the roof, holes in the first 2007, holes in the floor. Where my dad had to help me body filler and stuff. I had a bent valve. Wheel was hanging skew in front. That's my first car. And I resprayed it circa 4 times. Myself and my dad helped me and my brother. After that was a 168 pop-up lights dock. Belonged to my auntie, a red one in stunning condition.
Yeah, I see.
Absolutely stunning condition. After the pop-up lights, I had a Sabre 200 GXI, which I bought. An SR20 200 2000 model. With new seats, nice seats, clean car. I paid 45 for it.
Yo.
Today they want 50, 70 for that car.
Yeah.
Clean car.
What a car.
After the Sabre, I wanted to start a business, so I sacrificed. Sold the Sabre, and my mom gave us a Renault Scenic. So I drove the Scenic. The shop was struggling. I left the shop. I borrowed my mom. My mom had an Audi A8 back then, a 4.2. But an old one, a D2.
Okay.
Which my dad and I paid also cheap for like 30. And they had a leaking steering rack and he did quite a bit of work.
But it had a 4.2.
Yeah, but at a 4.2. And then I bought that car over from my mom.
Yeah.
After that, I had a job. I bought a BMW E46 330i. This is now where the experimenting began. M Sport. Nice car, auto. Like full spec. Harman Kardon, sat nav, sunroof, M-Tech kit. Beautiful car.
Coupe?
No, four-door.
Four-door.
I don't like the two doors, the Ciaz.
Yeah.
From the 330i, I left my job. I wasn't too happy with how things were going. I became an Uber driver. That time Uber just started, bruh.
Yeah.
Bought financed the E9, took a loan out and sold the BM to pay with E90 320i.
Okay.
Horrible car. I have so much problems. Smoked at 120,000 kilometers.
So you were an Uber black driver then?
No, I was a normal Uber.
Oh, really?
Like, it was not time work for Uber.
Oh, okay.
Left Uber. Couldn't afford a BM. Bought this is when Liberebil started.
Yeah.
Bought the Sentra.
Okay.
From the Sentra, sold that. Bought a Subaru Forester.
Yes. Love
Ugly
Subarus.
duckling, 2-liter turbo. My mom still actually drives Subarus now. 2-liter turbo, EJ20. Sold that. Bought a BMW E34 530i manual V8.
Yo.
Yeah, love that car.
Yo, manual V8. That is
Love
proper.
That car. Love that car. After that, bought an Audi 500 SE Turbo.
Audi 500.
Yeah, it's the old one, the square one.
Okay.
While I had the 500, I found it. This is now when Liberebil was going. Found a S4. Bought an S4. But that was a 5-cylinder 20-valve turbo. The
What
old
year
one.
was that?
1993, 1994.
94 S4.
Yeah, it was
that was
the old rally one.
Yes.
I've always wanted my dream car.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
With a diff lock. Modified that a little. Couldn't get the car right. Car went to Kusain because my career took off. New car segment took off. Car stood and stood. It stood for a year. And it just pissed water and oil and petrol because it was standing for so
It
long.
wasn't driving out.
Sold the car. And then sat with no car till I bought my career again took off with LA Customs. Then I bought the CLA 45.
Yeah. Was that new at the time?
Yeah. Gino and
CLA 45 are potent.
Gino and I ran into a bit of trouble. We sold his car and mine in order to start the shop. Started the shop and then I was carless till the CLK now.
Yo.
So yeah.
So that was how many years that you were carless?
A year?
Yeah. Okay. Well, which is, I mean, you got along,
two
so
actually. A year, two, yeah.
I think that's commendable. I mean, the fact that you, like, even though you love your cars and sort of need your car to drive around, it was fine for you to sell them to just get the business going.
Yeah, no.
Focus on what was important.
I'm so used, Gino and I are both so used to sacrifice already. We're so used to giving up everything to build a future that it didn't even affect us because we know where we will be in 5 years' time from now if we just push through the difficulty.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's very cool. So the CLK you have now, it's a 63.
Yeah.
2007. Yeah. Okay, cool. I remember those. I was luxury. Yeah.
138 on the clock now I put on and it's been treating me well for the month that I've had it or two.
Oh really? You haven't had it very long?
So we'll have to see now. It's going to take me in the next 2 years.
Those are the cruisers of cruisers.
Bro,
I mean,
the thing with the CLK is it's still so flipping quick.
It is.
13 or 14 years later. I mean, I'd had a go with the F80 M3 the other day, stock one. Couldn't get away. I was polishing his back bumper.
Really?
And then I had a new C63 as well, a C63S. Couldn't get away. Like literally, I could get a fender on him.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this thing is a 358 kilowatt.
I wanted to ask
But
now,
remember, a
because
stock,
that's quite potent.
A stock F8 is only making about between 340 and 370, and so is the new C63. The thing with me is I don't have a lot of traction, but it's naturally aspirated, so it's got a lot of traction second gear and third gear.
Yeah.
Actually, it's
immediate. Well, yeah, sort of immediate torque from the get go. There's no turbo lag or whatever.
That's what I'm struggling with at the moment a lot with that car is traction. But once money coming now, I'm gonna try and put some proper tires at the back.
Have you done anything to the car yet, or is it basically still stock?
I think do. I'm gonna do spacers, tires, and X-pipe. That's about it.
Which will be very cool.
Yeah, it will help with power also.
The CLK is an interesting one for me. I remember when this, in 2007, I was 7, so I'm very young, but I remember looking at the CLK and I didn't really understand where it fit in.
It's such a confusing car.
Until the CL, the CL it actually ran parallel with the CLK, so both existed at the same time. But then the S-Class Coupe also came out, and at some point someone told me about, the CLK is actually sort of in that line of luxury coupes. And I sort of clicked, it was actually a bit more of a Grand Tourer.
Yeah.
It was actually a bit more of a cruiser, which is very cool, but I don't think often people understood.
Yeah.
So even now, so at my race, which is weird, there's a guy who has a CLK 350, but I think it's maybe 2-3 years after yours. Not sure. But anyway, nobody really has CLKs these days, but you can pick them up for very good prices.
Exactly. 63 is now shooting up in value.
Yeah, which is
which is so weird. I paid a good price for my car. That's why I bought it, and now they're like 100k more.
Yeah.
I saw one on Country the other day for 360. I was like, this was a 220,000 car a few years back, and now they're skying up in value. The thing with the CLK 63 is it is mesmerizingly beautiful.
It is, and it's very simple.
Yeah, it takes my breath away every time. It's got the SLR vibe going that
does it have the same 5-speed?
No, it's got the 7-speed speed shift.
Okay.
So it's got that between gears and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's my God, it's beautiful. Every time I stand and I compare it to modern Mercedes, I can't find something that does it for me as much as the W209 chassis did.
That's so cool.
So freaking beautiful.
And I think it's a bit of a timeless look also, because it's so simple with the lines and everything. Even that Gen C-Class, like W203.
Yeah. So beautiful.
Yes. Still better looking for me in my eyes than, the current models. And brands at some points have to take chances, but
the modern C63, the W21, what's the chassis? I'm not so sure the chassis.
Isn't it also 208? Oh.
No, 204, 205.
205.
The 205 chassis for me is... It doesn't look like... It looks so simple, the 63. It's a beautiful car, no doubt, but it's just very simple. Yeah. Whereas the 204 chassis 63 just looked like it's going to knock you off the freaking road.
Oh, and it was a madman when you drove it too.
Oh, yeah, no.
I mean, those rear wheels were not planted in any part of,
And I mean, I've got the same engine that's in the 204 chassis. The M156 ran all the way up to 2015.
Yes.
But in our cars, they made more power. So we made 358s instead of 331.
Yeah, the C-Class made the least power out of that engine.
Yeah.
I think there was later on, the C63 had a 507. There was like a special 507. And that was like max, that thing brought out. But then you had like the S and the E and the CLK, which brought out a lot more.
Yeah.
And even I think that engine they took to the GT3 racing car, like later on, even 2015.
Yeah, M15, not 7. It had a different code name. Was the same. It came in the SLS. It was a dry-sump motor.
Yes. So, I mean, that engine leaps and bounds. I mean, it's actually crazy what it achieved. And in fact that it, for so long, was still very relevant.
I honestly think it's the best naturally aspirated V8 engine ever made.
It actually could be. I was just thinking of what Ferrari the Ferrari engines of that era they also made was quite good. But I mean,
458 Italia is great, but remember it's cross plane.
yeah,
Flat plane.
yeah,
Sorry.
it's flat plane. Yeah,
When I say best Viet, I'm talking about specifically cross plane.
Yeah.
It is like there's something about the 156 engine, the way it sounds.
Yes.
There's nothing it sounds like.
No, it's unbelievable.
At the robot, I'll let people use it and just give it a rev or two.
Yes.
Just see it bark. Oh.
I'm just thinking also another car that also had that engine was the SLS.
Yeah,
So I once heard the SLS Black Series in person, and oh my word.
Such a nice sound.
I don't know if I've heard a better sound from a V8.
Bro.
Probably not.
Such a nice sounding car.
And it's so raw. It's actually scary sounding.
Yeah.
And I mean, taking nothing away from the current 4 liter, like I know regulation and emission regulation and whatever, I mean, that sort of forces brands into going smaller, tighter packages, more fuel efficient. Turbocharging, yes, it produces more power. Yes, it's more efficient. It's crazy what the 4 liter does. I think Mercedes' 4 liter has probably one of the best sounds comparing to, the others. I don't know if you feel the same, but I think BMW, since after, which was the E92,
The V8,
yeah. So after those, when they started the turbocharging, that M3, M4 just didn't sound that amazing for me. But I mean, it is
True.
the 6.
For me, I'm again a big fan of the M3, M4's raspy sound. I love the way they sound.
Really?
They sound like old E46s. That's why I like them.
It is cool. Yeah, that's true.
I like that about it. But you are right. The new C63S 4 liter does sound very nice.
Yeah.
It is a better sounding. BMW's M5 sounds like a flat plane.
Yeah. It's
weird type of sound. Yeah.
It's weird. But also, taking nothing away from RS6 still sounds very good. Not the new one.
The problem for me with the RS6 is the fact that it's the same engine being used in all the RS V8 cars.
Yeah, that's true.
The Porsche and all that stuff, so they all sound the same.
Yeah. Even though it's good, it's just a bit too, across the board, everyone's using it.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So, CLK 63 at the moment, which I mean, you can probably keep forever if you really want to.
I don't want to put a lot of kilometers on. I'd love to buy me a daily. I'm looking at a Smart for 2.
Oh my word, that's
small
so cool.
Smarts because I want to buy a car that is comical and funny.
The new ones actually look quite cool.
I've driven a Smart for 2 once. It was the most such amount of fun because it's so
cool.
weird to drive.
Yeah.
And people look at you funny like
Yeah.
is what I'm doing. But I love it. I'm gonna get my mom one as well. So, but I want to just daily it.
Yeah.
To the shop and back to the shop.
And
back.
I mean, you can. I think it'll look quite cool, blacked out.
Yeah.
Black rims. And I don't know if you like that.
I saw a facelift.
But, I mean, really.
I saw a facelift Smart for 2 on black rims, dropped and stuff.
Yeah.
With a baller exhaust. It looks so good and sounded so good.
If you really want to be baller, which I mean, I probably wouldn't even be, is taking the Brabus kit I have for those small cars, which look unbelievably stupid.
Yeah.
But it's so cool.
I saw a Brabus, a new spec the other day, with the twin pipes out of the back.
Yeah.
I saw 2 of them. I was like, it's a cute car, man. I'll get one of these.
The sound isn't going to be anything but, I mean, twin pipes, really. That's so cool. So, taking away all constraints or restrictions of money, 3-car garage. What is the dream 3-car garage looking for you?
Porsche GT3 RS.
Newest one.
No. The 4 liter, the 1.2.
Oh, okay, yeah, that one.
Yeah, all the new one, depending which one I can afford. Either one.
Yeah.
I'll put both of them there in one spot. Jeep Cherokee Trackhawk, love a Trackhawk, and a 204 63.
Yes.
Or CLK.
And the GT3 is probably like a weekend car, track car.
Look, if money is no option, I'd swap one of them. I'll swap the Merc out for an Aventador.
Money no.
I'm a big Aventador guy.
Okay.
My business partner and one of the people that doesn't like it because they think it's too outlandish.
I mean,
but I absolutely love an Aventador. I just want to rev it. I'm not the guy that revs cars in front for people.
But it's an Aventador.
I was with Alex the other day in the R8. I was driving through what's it? Camps Bay.
Yes.
You know that road with all the supercars that even stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, with my head down and everyone's looking. I'm like, oh,
Probably
don't
have
look at
to.
me. I just go on. And then I made a youth and I was like, "Ugh, okay, let me just make this kid's day. And all the other people's day. And I felt so bad. I felt like such a break gat, man.
You do.
Wappa, down the passage. And there's this GT3 RS that comes the opposite way of me. And he puts his foot down. I'm like,
Oh, the
okay, that
sound.
camaraderie is so cool, I have to admit.
Yeah.
And it just howled like a wolf stuck in a trap, like Jeremy Clarkson would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a big Aventador guy. I want the first Aventadors coupe,
Yes.
just with a straight pipe, and I just want to gear down and stuff the whole time. Be that guy.
Yeah. Spit flame.
Yeah.
Go mad.
Love
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I think your character changes when you're in an Aventador.
Oof,
I
dude,
mean, that car is so much drama.
Yeah, it's a
can't-
Lambo.
You can't be anything else but dramatic about it.
Yeah, bro. Oh my god.
So I think, Aventador is unbelievable. I have heard one in person. I remember, so my roommate in Res, of course, doesn't like cars at all. Doesn't know anything about cars. But do you know Hoogtepaas going up to Franshoek? So our Res is quite near there. So I often hear cars going up there and be like, oh, very cool Porsche. Oh, Lambo. Oh, whatever. And the other day I heard this it was like a high-pitched drone sound, but it was like a big engine on low revs, and I just couldn't realize what it was. I was like, yeah, that sounds familiar, but I just can't place it. Anyway, there's like this big roundabout in front of our race, and I saw something come around, low lights on, anything, came around, and it was basically a brand new Aventador Roadster, like Aventador S Roadster, and I lost it. I went crazy. Anyway, ran out the room, ran towards the circle just to see where this car is. Saw it gunning down the street, going up elsewhere. You could hear it for the next 15 minutes. It's unbelievable, the sound that car makes.
I know, dude. Aventador is so good.
And who cares if it's uncomfortable?
No, I don't care. I just wanted to drive around. I want to daily own an Aventador. I want to be... Honestly, it's probably one of my biggest dreams to accomplish.
Yeah.
Is an Aventador.
Have you driven a Aventador?
I didn't. I think insurance is a bit of an issue.
Okay.
So yeah, but I fucking love.
So you have to insure it for the day.
Yeah.
Even. Okay.
Or sometimes a few
Super-
hours only.
Really?
Yeah.
That's probably very, very expensive.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I wouldn't take anything away if you had a Aventador. That's a crazy car. I think for me, I'd rather have a Ferrari.
What's your 3-car garage?
Oh, it's difficult. I actually had an episode where I discussed it. For me, what did I say? It was a GT3 Touring was the one. Daily was like Peugeot 205 GTI. So like very classic, super fun. And then like the Cruiser GT car was an 812 GTS. Ferrari 812 GTS. I want the I want the
Interesting.
downroof. Yeah,
I'm not a big Ferrari guy, but I am a big 458 person.
458.
458's been a car I've always wanted to drive. I always told myself that if I drive a 458, I'm stopping to do Liberebil, because then I've accomplished the biggest bucket list on the planet that I wanted to.
Yeah, then it's like done.
Because the 458 for me is...
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. So, on a other note, what is the car you like despise the most? If you had, I don't know. What's the car you just don't like at all?
I had this conversation the other day with someone, and it's my least favorite car is a Nissan Almera.
Oh my word!
It's the equivalent of, I don't know. It's just some car. It's just a car.
Just a car.
It's got no imagination. My family and I call it a Nissan Almera because of that film that came out. My brother and I we're just not.
You're right. Well, there's nothing about that car that makes it in any way.
My least favorite modern car is a Porsche Taycan.
Oh, that's interesting and controversial.
I hate that car.
Just because it's electric?
No, it's just because of what it stands for. I just can't deal. I can't stand the people that go on about it.
So it's difficult for you to see the change.
No. It's not about the. It's just the car. The way it looks. It's awful looking.
Okay.
I saw a few of them pootling around actually. And I was like, no, not for me. Awful thing. And another car that I will just refuse to drive.
But let's say 2030 hits, no more internal combustion cars. You have to buy an electric car. And you're buying something now.
If there's a Ford Ranger Raptor in electric, yeah, that will be it.
Well, Ford is bringing an electric F-150
Lightning, no?
out somewhere in the next 2-3 years. So I guess that'll probably go along into the Ranger too, which will be. I saw Jeep made an electric Wrangler, which is awful. It's horrible. Yeah. I really there's nothing special about it.
I think the other one I'll add is i3. I love an i3. Or an i8 even.
Well, yeah. i3 is very cool. I saw the other day, for some weird reason, one at the petrol station. Probably just pumping wheels or something.
Actually not. So he's probably got a Rex. So a Rex is a range extender. It's got a little 2-cylinder motor or 1-cylinder motorbike engine at the back that charges the battery. Yeah.
But just for charging.
You must just fill that thing up with fuel. So yeah.
That's such a, I don't know. It's going a bit against the electric vibe about it. Like it's cheating almost. Yeah. Like you're trying to be, environmentally conscious, and now just a small petrol motor.
Yeah. And Porsche is also launching an SUV Taycan soon.
Yes, the Cross Turismo.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
And then also Macan EVs are on the line.
I don't mind those. I don't mind. I just don't like what the Taycan. I just don't like the people who knees get weak when they talk about the Taycan. Oh my God, the Taycan. Oh my God. They know nothing about cars, but oh my God, the Taycan. No, go away.
Well, I'm very interested to hear what you think about it when you drive one. Because, of course, you have this idea, and yes, it'll influence it. But I mean...
It's probably fast AF. But I can tell you now something, my friend.
Yeah.
Speed does not impress me. The overall feel of the car, how it transitions and makes me feel, is what makes it for me. And on that front, it ain't gonna win me over. Yeah. So, yeah.
Niyaaz, thank you for coming.
It's today. A pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me down.
It was really cool having a chat.
No, it's a pleasure.
I'll definitely link your channel and everything.
No,
if you had to describe in one sentence what your channel tries to achieve or does, what would it be?
You're the most confusing car channel in South Africa.
You have it.
It's all over the show.
Out of the horse's mouth. Okay. But thank you very much. Thank you for listening. Usually at the end of the episode, I say, rather love cars because it's better than loving drugs.
Definitely. It's a nice slogan.
Yeah, I say. There we go. All right. Have a good one. Cheers.
Bye.